Okay, till now we've only looked at like two terms and factorizing two terms, but we can do the same trick with three terms. So we have two examples here, and let's just take a look. So how many terms do I have? I have three terms. And is there anything common, or are there common factors in the three terms? Yes, there are. So with the numbers, I see 6, 2, and 4. So I know a 2 would definitely be a common factor of all of them, and obviously a lot of x's. But there's 3 x's multiplied there, 2 there, and 5 there. So actually the smallest amount would be x squared. I can take that out. So the first term, what times, well, let's say 2x squared times what will give me 6x to the power of 3. So I'll look at the numbers first. So 2 times 3 will give me 6. And x squared times x would give me x to the power of 3. So I know this times this will give me that. Next, the plus, and I actually took out the whole term. So instead of just leaving it, because that's a very common mistake, of saying, oh, I already took out the term, I'm just going to move on. No, I have to put in kind of a magic 1, and then I can carry on, because I know 1 times 2x squared is going to give me 2x squared. If I leave the 1 out and I do the expansion, then I'm going to lose the term. I'll lose the term. It'll just be 2 terms in the end instead of 3. And then obviously lastly we can go 2 times 2 is 4, and x squared x to the power of 3. Okay, so this is kind of indice rules, which you should understand. There's a whole series on indices, so look at that if you're not really familiar with what we did here. But yeah, if we multiply this and this, we'll get that. Multiply this and this, I'm going to get that. If I multiply this and this, I'm going to get that. Cool, let's look at the next example down here. Just get the other marker. And again, 3, 12, and 9. So that tells me I can take out a 3. There's a lot of x's and a lot of y's. So if I look at the x's alone, there's an x squared, and an x. So I can only take out an x because that's the smallest amount of x's. And for the y's, there's 1 y, there's 2 and 2. So I can take out a y. That's all. So question is, this times what will get me there? So I have to add an x, because the 3 is already there. X times x will give me x squared, and y is already there. I have to remember my sign. 3 times what will give me 12? And that would be 4. So 3 times negative 4 would be negative 12. And then I have x squared, y squared, and here I have x and y. So I have to times x by another x to get the x squared, and y times another y to get the y squared. And then finally just adding my plus, and 3 times 3 will give me 9. And then this x is already there, that's fine, and there would be 1 y. Okay, again, you can test, but please don't write the expanded answer here, because then usually they'll want the factorized bit here, and not, they don't want you to write this here. I've seen that done before. So make sure that you give this as the final answer.